I'm Charlotte with Colorful Teaching for You. Thank you so much for joining me. And today we're going to look at time management for teachers. Now, let me get one thing out of the way. I actually will be talking about 5 different time management tips, but those are on my blog at www.colorfulteachingforyou.com/blog. But so that I don't take up your time, because I know you're really busy, I'm going to give you one tip right now, and then you can, if implement it, and then go and check out the blog so that you have a lot more that you can work with. Cool? All right, let's do this. Now, I know you're busy, right? We're all busy as teachers. So this is going to be something that you've probably heard about and you've probably attempted it, or maybe you are like spot on with it. But if you aren't, I'm going to encourage you to take a moment to try it out this week. So the one thing that I have implemented that has made a huge difference in my life so far has been creating a specific time or office hour for parents. And I'm incredibly strict with that time. So the reason I have this office hour is because I've had parents who have had this lovely need to have a chat with me for, let's say, 2 hours in one sitting, which I don't know how we can do this for every single child. But apparently 2 hours wasn't enough to have a chat, and it wasn't a big issue. It was actually quite a small one of those, where we teach kids about the size of a problem. It was a small size, but some parents will want to have all this time to talk, and there are parents that will abuse your power, your time. Some of them aren't necessarily doing it intentionally, obviously. There are parents that just, they just do. And so in order to cut that out of your life right away, because that can be too much, and actually it does take over sometimes, where you think you're trying to help the parent, and the parents are taking up too much of your time, too much of your energy. To be able to save some time and energy, what I do is I take my planner, I figure out when exactly am I going to set this time, and I have like 2 or 3 blocks. And that is the time that I'm going to talk to parents, and I actually will shoot them an email. So please make sure that you send your parents an email and say, these are my blocks of time. You need to set an appointment with me in order to talk to me. You cannot just show up at my class whenever you want to. And then when you've set that time, also set an increment of time for each meeting. Of course, there are times where the meeting is going to go over time, and you will judge that, and you will say, okay, we might need half an hour. But I always go for 10 to 15 minute blocks, and that's it. I also do this for emails. Now, I haven't talked about this in the blog, but I did want to talk about that today, where when you are setting out emails, I also let parents know in advance that these are the parameters. For me, it's, if you send me an email in the morning, hopefully I have had a chance to look at it, because I might be in a meeting. If I don't get a chance to reply, I will look at it after school. Sometimes it is a privilege if I look at it during lunch hour, but my job is to care for the children. So I'm not going to be checking emails where some parents will send emails about, hey, can you tell my child to meet me outside, or to go to the library, or to be picked up by somebody else. That's not my responsibility. I'm not babysitting a child. I'm there to teach your child, and I'm not there to be looking at my computer screen, but I'm there to be present with those kids. So if you're going to send me an email during the day, know that I'm not going to be responding unless I have the chance. And if I don't, that's something that should have been dealt with ahead of time, or you need to call the office for that, right? So set clear parameters, 24 hours to 48 hours, because we don't always get a chance to send emails, and I do have a cutoff time for myself. I want to go home and spend time with my family. So unfortunately, if I don't get to you in that period of time, you're going to have to wait till the next day. And again, if I do respond in the night, I tell parents it's a privilege then, because that's my time, right? So make sure you are very, very clear. List it out, email parents. And if you are just starting out as a teacher, or if you're a student teacher, this is incredibly important. Make sure you make that note. And yes, you can definitely start it in January. You do not need to wait till next September. Do it now. It's kind of like with the kids, you hold the reins tight and then you slowly let go. But with parents, I don't really let go. I keep that firm. Okay? So that is my time management for today, make sure you set clear boundaries. Make sure you set with parents. Make sure you set clear office hours with parents. There are other tips at www.colorfulteachingforyou.com/blog. Sorry, colorfulteachingforyou.com/blog, and it goes beyond just parent hours, right? We talk about 4 other things you can implement as well. So if you like this video, please do share this with your friends and loved ones, especially if you think they'll benefit from this. In the meantime, remember to create, experience, and teach from the heart. And I look forward to seeing you same place, same time next week. Take care, my friends. Bye.